A very good morning to all my subscribers, my viewers, the obedient family. Thank you for joining me this morning. Now, let me tell you, let me start this video by saying it's quite unfortunate that when even those that are sensible, being activists, doing their activism, making people believe that the system is messed up and we need a revolution, happen to meet the people that are in power. Before you know, they lose their sense of reasoning. They lose their sense of activism, and then the switch comes and they will start talking diplomatically. Now, Buala once said something. He said, once you join e.t.c, a certain percentage of your brain becomes dead. And that is true. All these old men that are the so-called fighters of democracy, it's clear they didn't fight for democracy for the interest of Nigerians. It was for their selfish interest. If you know Shehu Sani, everybody knows that Shehu Sani is one of the persons in politics that have won the heart of a lot of Nigerians because of being an activist, coming out to speak truth to power, calling a spade, saying it how it is. But a few days after he met Tinubu, it be like say the guy don't chop corn. His narrative after it becoming twisted. We don't even understand where he stands again. He is neither there nor here. He is everywhere. He has started making some statements that are quite, diplomatic. And then Nigerians are saying, oh, finally, this one too don't chop corn. He's the latest in the group of the people that have decided that their ambition is better than the lives of Nigerians. I'm not going to be showing you all those videos and everything. I just put that out there. Until I get the videos together, I will put it up. But Peter OBI has come out to tell Tinubu, please, Oga, release Nnamdi Kanu. He has done nothing, and then the court has granted him bail, allow him to get out of that detention. And it has stirred up the Ronu rascals and the Baptists that are making so much noise on the social media space. I'm going to be showing you that video, but before I do that, let me quickly tell you that it's quite unfortunate that the house of God, that is supposed to be the place of worship for God, has become a den of thieves. And we've seen a lot of pastors compromising. We've seen a lot of them playing politics. We've seen a lot of them trying not to hurt the egos of their what do they call them now? Their members as politicians. They collect the corrupt tithe and offering and put it in the pocket. But there are a few pastors that are actually coming out to speak truth, that are saying it the way it is. They might not have blown, but some of them are saying the truth, and definitely, as they say it, will put it out there. What this video, and when I come back, will continue.
Let me give you one reality of life. In the year 2007, Nuhu Ribadu was the e.t.c chairman. He declared Akpabio as a corrupt governor. He declared George Akume as a corrupt governor. He declared Tinubu as a corrupt governor. He declared Oji of Abia State as a corrupt governor. Say all these people, they are corrupt. As of today, the same Nuhu Ribadu that declared them as corrupt people is the National Security Advisor. The corrupt Akpabio is the Senate President. The corrupt Tinubu is the President. The corrupt Oji is now in the Senate. And him that was declaring them now is the National Security Advisor. These are the people that the full show of our unborn children is in their hand.
You see how terrible it is? You've heard from the horse's mouth. I said this times without number. I said this is a country that rewards criminality. If you're a criminal, you get a higher position, you get a better position, and you can see the confirmation. Call the names. Call the e.t.c chairman that time, Nuhu Ribadu, what he said are the worst, most corrupt governors in Nigeria, and then now where they are and where he is. I think that at this point in time, a time will come when the protest should be even in the church. Because these men are actually coming out to play gimmicks with the mindset of people. Kudos to all those pastors that have been able, or the clergy that have been able to break those mess of money and affluence and influence, and they have come out to speak truth to power to the faces of their members. It doesn't matter whether you are a governor sitting down there, it doesn't matter whether you are a senator, it doesn't matter what pedigree or what position you are holding. kudos to those pastors, because they are just a few. A lot of them would rather hide the word, not say it exactly the way it is, because they are bootlicking certain people. They don't want those big tithes to cut. And that is why you see that a lot of people now are waking up to the realities. That is clearly no more the house of God, but a den of thieves. And they are seeing it on a daily basis that these men are compromised, even though we call them the daddy geos and the mommy geos. Because when it comes to speaking truth to power, they don't. A lot of them chicken out. I don't want to involve in politics, but you have involved in politics before. You have come out to do a protest. Suddenly, it became the Ronu. I don't want to do politics. And we see through them every single day. And that is why I come out to say it. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. I pray. I love the Lord. But I can tell you that is not everything that comes out of the pulpit that is true. You need to be able to know the Bible for yourself. Because even in the Bible talks about the last days and how the very elect will be deceived. There are a lot of people that are there for the business purpose, manipulating the mindsets of Nigerians. Go and see Kenya. Kenya people broke into the church and they are nailing it. Now the reverend fathers are supporting them. If we don't open our eyes, these guys will use religion, twisted religion, because it's not the real one, and deceive a lot of gullible Nigerians. And you will keep suffering and smiling, and then they are living in their glorified space. Most of them, their families, they're outside. Let me show you what Peter Obi said, and then we'll come back and wrap this up.
Down to the southeast here, some people have attributed it to the continued incarceration of people, Nnamdi Kanu, and people like Ohanese and several other individuals have called for the release of that young man. I don't know what your own take is about that.
My take is very simple. I've said it repeatedly, that I don't see anything why his continued detention, quite frankly. Especially as the law, the courts have granted him bail. Government must obey the law. Rule of law is an intrinsic asset that we must cherish and live with. And I've said I'm going to discuss with every agitator. And I use the same opportunity to play to government to ensure that all those who are in similar conditions are released and discussed with. We're a democratic government. We shouldn't be doing things that are arbitrary and not within the law.
Okay.
You've seen it, right? If you go there, you see the Ronu rascals and all the Baptists making noise. Yes, IPOB. We said it. He's IPOB. He's this one. Peter Obi will never ever deny where he comes from. He's from the southeast. And he will never ever try to justify something that is wrong so that it will suit your narrative. No. He will say truth to power, and Peter Obi have been consistent in what he says. When they asked him about IPOB and everything, he said agitation is a normal thing. People agitate everywhere. He even went further to say, my family, they agitate. What are we supposed to do? Bring them to the table. Have a round table sitting with them. Get to listen to what their agitations are. And then after you do that, you will now start looking for solutions. It's after you have done all those things, try to look for a way around it. And then they are still doing it. That is when you now start saying, okay, I've given you guys a solution. Now why are people still doing that? And then you apply some other method. And first of all, this man was smuggled into the country. Didn't follow law, and they are trying to use the law to judge him. And the courts in their benevolence have seen that, okay, this man did not even do anything. They just want to keep him there. This is the same situation that is happening in Kenya. Now the president is begging that, oh, let us sit down and dialogue. When people have lost their life, the Kenyan people say, we are not dialoguing. No more. The time for dialogue is over. We gave you an opportunity to dialogue with us. You called us criminals. Now he will gather pastors. He will gather this one. He will gather that one. He will go and be speaking. He's now speaking his language. No more English. I've said this thing times without number. The best way to deal with this issue is to call a round table sitting. Look, let us dialogue. Let us talk about this thing. Let us find a level playing ground for everybody. Because if you don't, at the end of the day, this whole thing, you do here, another person will set up. It can't stop. It can't stop. And the only reason why they will not do something like that is because inside their mind, criminality is embedded. I've said this times without number, there are some people, leaders in the southeast, that are actually contributing to Nnamdi Kanu's detention in that place. They don't want him to come out because they are gaining heavily from the insecurity in the southeast. I keep telling you, insecurity is a huge business. There are people that are operating that business in Nigeria. Shebi just few days ago, suicide bomber, I think it was yesterday, in Borno, in a wedding, killed a lot of people. We need to be very watchful. We need to be very careful. And then we need to come to terms with the realities that these guys are not there to actually serve the good of the people. In fact, if the good ones join them, they become bad. We need to wake up like the youths of Kenya and say, look, enough is enough. We've had enough. We can't keep taking this. And then do the needful. Let me drop it here, guys. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell so that whenever I drop a video, you'll be the first to be notified. I'm obedient and I'm useful. I hope you are. Fingers crossed. Let's keep holding them responsible. And let's keep exposing their follies and see how it pans out. God bless you. I'll see you next time.